There was a few different organizations, charity organizations that came together to sponsor me in a plant medicine ceremony, which took the space of 3 days. And this is a very professional setting, very intimate, vulnerable setting. And I was scared to death. The first night was probably the scariest event of my life, or close to it, / most beautiful and informative and clear. The clarity that I had coming out of that was unescapable. I can't unsee it, can't unhear it, can't unthink it, and I don't want to. It was amazing. I know God's real. I knew it before, but when you sit with him and you are held, you're shown a mirror and you're a player and you're an observer. Doesn't matter what you think. These things are going to happen. What did you learn from that? Well, let's talk about what you learned from that. And it was brutal until I was kind of guided out of it. But I know it's real. The spiritual world is real. So I look at this world and death, and I've already made my grips with, hey man, you're going to die. You weren't planning on making it this long, but processing other people's death. What do you still do on this life? How do you invest your time in this life? Because this is just a passage to the next. When you die, it ain't over. You don't die. You just change forms. You're in the spirit. You're with your creator. Let me show you what some of that looks like if you choose to make these decisions moving forward. Because what happened to you cannot be undone. You can't, it doesn't matter what you want. Not your plan. I'm in charge. Who do you think you are? And I'm talking yelling and screaming. Who do you think you are that you control any of this? He would grab my hair, yank me back, make me look at the sky. And he's like, you see those clouds dumping that rain into that ground, and those animals drinking from it, and those animals eating that animal? This world is violent by my design. Who are you to think you can change anything? Understanding that this type of medicine gives you what you need, not what you want. And it is the realest event that I've probably ever experienced in my life, minus, I would say, the birth of my kids. Screw the combat stuff, none of that is as real and as relevant. Those were all portions to get me where I am, to ask for this type of help. And so I had a couple different entities pitch in to help me out. And this turned into a mixture of psilocybin and ayahuasca treatment. The history goes way back. You have guys who can explain that way better than me. I needed to control everything. I needed to be put in a place where I knew that control was going to be taken from me. And that's exactly what happened over the course of, let's say, 3 days. I did not sleep very much. It was a miserable, brutal level of accountability, slightly turned in some of the most beautiful stuff that I've ever seen. And yes, visually, but the interactions that I had were of the spiritual world. For me, it made me reframe how I see this earth. I've seen the other side, and there is a spiritual world. I believed it before, but now it's very, very different because I was held to levels of accountability that I've never been held to. I was allowed to celebrate so many different wins. Like, hey man, have confidence in these things. Why are you dragging this traumatic experience? Why are you always reverting mentally to what happened there 18, 19 years ago? Can I show you that from a different point of view? Insane.